When the breach was identified by NEPA, there did not seem to be any intention to prosecute. Instead, there was a communication saying...
counsel, that's very cynical.
No, I'm going based on I'm quoting based on the communication. After the breach was identified.
Yeah. Go on, mute ya, go on. Ease yourself, just keep it calm, mute ya, star. Only per pressure, I'm a corner. One time it hard to carry on. You no need no girl for turn to, no man for talk to. Feelings hurt on the journey so far.
Wagwan Success family, this is O. Hope y'all doing alright. This is a jam-packed video, so get your popcorn. Chaos in Jamaica government right now. JLP and PNP is on the verge of running the country into a constitutional collapse. And former DPP Paula Llewellyn is at the center of it. Andrew Ownless JLP is an embarrassment, and I am disappointed in former DPP. But before that, let me tell you who is now the new appointed DPP. So right now we finally have a new DPP. DPP Paula Llewellyn is finally gone, and we have a new DPP. Senior Deputy DPP Claudette Thompson has been appointed as acting DPP. Right, so as from now, Paula Llewellyn will no longer be in the DPP office. That is done fully and over until them, move on with the appeal case that them have. But Claudette Thompson is now appointed, and we will see what she is going to do from here on out as the acting DPP. DPP Paula Llewellyn came out and said she's unable to carry out her functions at this time due to ambiguity arising from the court's judgment, which cast doubt on the validity of her actions since April 19th. Who do not fully understand, this means ever since the Constitutional Court made its decision, it has caused confusion or lack of clarity regarding her legal authority to continue in the DPP office, because this side is saying one thing, the next side is saying one thing, right? So the decision to appoint an acting DPP is to avoid a potential constitutional crisis where decision made by Paula Llewellyn could be considered invalid. I did a video a couple days ago talking about how the JLP government intends to appeal the court ruling, and the Attorney General once said Paula Llewellyn was still in office even after court ruling. Now remember, the DPP has prosecutors working under her. There were concerns about whether or not those prosecutors would have the authority to act in the name of the DPP when they appear in court for their cases. This is why Andrew Ownless JLP is an embarrassment and why I am disappointed. The Constitutional Court ruling surrounding the tenure of DPP Paula Llewellyn and the shameful response by the JLP government points out a critical need for respect of legal decisions and sticking to constitutional principle in Jamaica. It's almost a case where if the government cannot respect the court, how do they expect regular, ordinary citizens to be respectful of the law, to be respectful of decisions made in the court? If we get a bad verdict, all we're gonna do is just turn the place upside down and say, yo, we not take that, and you can't move me, you can't get me out, because that was the response of JLP government in Paula Llewellyn case, right? Them say, yo, not because the court rules say Paula Llewellyn should be out means say Paula Llewellyn never come out. Jaja God. Anyways, now I need to tell you why DPP Paula Llewellyn is an embarrassment and why I am disappointed. On top of that, DPP Paula Llewellyn is a top tier prosecutor in Jamaica's legal system, where she's supposed to uphold the rule of law, which means DPP Paula Llewellyn should demonstrate more consideration and respect for the Constitutional Court's ruling regarding her extension. The DPP is someone who upholds the law and expect her prosecutorial decision to be upheld, because when she sends people to prison, she wants them to remain there and she wants the court to enforce that. That is what she expects, because it was done in accordance with the law. The moment the court decides she cannot serve in office anymore, she should have recognized the importance of respecting the court's decision, which is fundamental to maintaining the rule of law. So Andrew Ownless gave the DPP stolen items and she accepted it. And I mean that if someone asks you for something and you tell them that, so me not have it though, and the person go down the road and go thief it and bring it back to you, and the person tell you say a thief them thief it, and say where them do wrong, and say a thief them thief it, and say there can be repercussions, there can be consequences for that person stealing the item and bringing it to you, but you yourself say you want it, and say you stolen items, say you stolen goods, what you do? You say, alright then, then you know what, me I go hold on pan it. So basically, for someone smart as the DPP, she know say what the JLP government do, the approach where them take is wrong. But because of our agenda for send VybzKartel to prison, because of our agenda for remain in office, for continue to do all of anything where she feel like so she want to do, she say, all right, then me I go hold on pan it and see how long it lasts and just continue to do what we need to do in that meantime, because she know this day was going to come. Paula Llewellyn know that as a smart person like she and somebody who know the law, right? She know say what them do wrong, but she still take it. She still take the stolen item what the JLP government give her, and she won't upon it. But the time finally come. You see me? So that is what I mean by JLP government giving Paula Llewellyn stolen items, because she know from day one, say yo, this is wrong, and the time I go come where PNP government I go come knocking on the door, and that's what PNP government did. They came knocking on the door and kick her out. Eventually, you see me, so the eventuality was there for Paula Llewellyn come out of office for a long time. She didn't know said this was going to come, because she know the law, she know the system, she know the constitution, right? So therefore, it was never a surprise to the DPP. Paula Llewellyn holds a position of significant authority and responsibility within the justice system. The DPP role is to enforce laws and uphold justice. I believe it's important that the DPP sets an example, lead by example for her subordinates, and sets an example for the public by respecting the court rulings, and show us she will stick to the constitutional principles just like everybody else. There shouldn't be a force of Paula Llewellyn, of the DPP, because she failed to acknowledge the court ruling, which I likes lack of integrity that we criticize her for, that people criticize her for, that is missing within the DPP office, within the justice system, and that only continue to create lack of trust in that people have within the justice system. You see me? And it's not just Paula Llewellyn who needs to set an example. Andrew Holness JLP government must also advise the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice to also respect and abide by the court's decision. When the Supreme Court gave their decision, Andrew Holness JLP government instant response should be respect of the law, not attempts to challenge the judicial decisions and say Paula Llewellyn is staying put. Right? What type of government officials are that? What type of government officials are they? They need to uphold the rule of law and the principles of and adhere to the separation of power and respect independence of judiciary to maintain a functioning democratic system before Jamaica becomes Haiti. You see me? So to me, the situation in Jamaica shows a potential constitutional crisis if the government officials and legal authorities fail to respect and abide by court decision. They must. This is something that they must do. Because any disregard for legal rulings and the constitutional principles can lead to chaos and instability within the government and Jamaica at large. The supreme law of the land, which is the constitution, the framework for governing, that we need to protect it. Individual rights and everything must be upheld. It cannot be breached. So different branches of the government need to ensure stability and the rule of law. Mark Golding made a strong statement, and this is what he said.
People's National Party is issuing this urgent statement to the nation in light of the government's confused response to last Friday's Constitutional Court ruling, which declared that the legislation to extend the tenure of the former DPP beyond September 23 last year is unconstitutional and void. Our objective is to ensure that the nation avoids the impending constitutional crisis that could arise should there be no acting DPP in place by tomorrow morning. As our eminent legal representatives have pointed out with clarity in their urgent correspondence to the government's legal team yesterday, the continuation of Ms. Llewellyn in her post beyond her lawful term is not only unconstitutional, but is also a grave misstep in governance. A copy of their letter has been published with our release to the media this afternoon to underscore the severe implications of ignoring the court's ruling. If the government adamantly insists on the former DPP continuing to purport to hold that office, her actions would no longer be validated by law, and it could plunge the country into an even deeper crisis. Furthermore, the current absence of a public service commission whose term was negligently allowed to expire on the 31st of March this year, without a new commission being put in place to ensure seamless public administration, is a significant oversight by the government that could hinder ongoing public services, including the critical appointment of an acting DPP. Finally, it is clear that the public statements of the Attorney General, Dr. Derek McCoy, and the Minister of Justice, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, in the wake of the Constitutional Court's decision, represent either a profound misunderstanding or a deliberate obfuscation of the law as expressed in the judgment of the Constitutional Court. Their actions have fatally undermined their credibility as holders of those important offices. Accordingly, the People's National Party is calling for their immediate resignations as Attorney General and Minister of Justice, respectively. We urge this administration to consider the gravity of this situation and to act in the best interests of Jamaica's democratic principles.
All right, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section, about everything about, the videos that I drop. Let me know if you guys want me to continue to drop videos on this situation. Thanks for the likes, thanks for the subscribe, thanks for the views. As always, I'm out.